from 12 fights, no matter amateur or pro. That those adrenaline problems, all those things that happened that we talked about with Jake Scanlon possibly, those are not going to happen when you have 12 fights. Doesn't matter if they're amateur or pro. He's going to be well seasoned. He's going to know exactly what to expect in there.
So we have Gavin Ceniceros.
Yeah, it's advantage on.
Fought Gavin 100 years ago. And that is the most experienced that Charles card by far. He's got a pretty well-rounded skill set. Also really well, but I mean, I'm striking.
Yeah, I was just saying that exact thing, Alex, is that you're not going to see many guys with more amateur experience. And 12 fights, no matter if it's amateur or pro, that's a lot of ring time.
And a winning record, a good 7-5 record. It's a lot of amateur wins.
Yeah, the thing about amateurs a lot of the times, and I don't know in his case, but you'll take a lot of short notice fights, you'll take it, and that's why the amateur record really doesn't matter, because we've seen it both ways. We've seen 15-0, we've seen 2-5.
Yeah.
We've seen the 15-0 guys have no success in the pro. The 2-5 guys have a ton of success.
We got one guy on our main card, Lucas Valente. I'm sorry, he's the feature prelim. He had no amateur fights. He's making his pro debut.
Yeah.
He is a genuine world-class black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I mean, the scope is just so broad.
Yeah.
As we get Ceniceros making his way to the cage, let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Nathan Regino.
Nathan Regino, another very experienced amateur at 4-2. I mean, he finds a win, and he's got to be in line for that title fight. I mean, he's got a strong skill set behind him. He's got the Metro guy. You see, he's got Rufián Stotts and Adrian Yanez in his corner. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that.
Yeah, especially as an amateur, 4-2. That's typically the line. We saw 12 fights there, 4-2, 5-2. That's typically the line where you see the guys making the jump. They either get a title fight or they make the jump to a pro. So not sure what to expect out of Nathan, but for his next fight. But I would imagine this is putting him in contention for one or the other.
Yeah, you see in our tail of the tape, Regino with a 6-foot height advantage. Both guys young, 23 versus 21. Both guys came in at the appropriate weight. You do see Regino with the height and reach advantage.
Yeah, that reach advantage of 8 inches, that's a lot. That's almost another arm.
Yeah. So anytime you get the reach advantage, you effectively got to split it in half.
Yeah.
But 4 inches, I mean, that's still a substantial gain.
Yeah. Yeah, the reach is the wingspan, basically. And I don't remember how they do it, Alex. They allow you to do it tip to tip?
Tip to tip,
yeah. Tip to tip.
For my UFC debut, they got all my measurements, and I struggled so hard to make them give me an extra half inch. I'm sorry, an extra quarter inch. They were like 170, or they were like 71 3/4. And I'm, no, it's 72. And I'm like, all right, guys, hang on, let me stretch. And I stretched, and it was the same. They're like, we're going to put 72. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. But, the range is only as good, the wingspan is only as good as the striker using it. You got to know how to, keep the range and use your jab. And we've seen Nathan Regino here use it 6 times in his past fights. It's going to be an excellent contest.
And that's a skill like anything else, Alex. You have to learn to use that reach just like you have to learn to punch.
All right, he's in the cage. Exciting fight. Let's get it going.
The following contest is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series featherweight division, and it's brought to you by the Cock of the Walk, Warbringer Whiskey. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 145.8 pounds. Fighting out of San Angelo, Texas, his amateur record stands at 7 wins. 5 losses. Here is the Ultimo Dragon, Gavin Ceniceros. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 6 feet tall, and he weighed in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, by way of Tula, Tamaulipas, Mexico. His amateur record stands at 4 wins, 2 losses. Here is Nathan El Nathan Regino. Your referee in charge of the action, Professor Joe Solis.
Referee Joe Solis here for our 4th fight.
Man, any other promotion, this is a main event for an amateur card.
Yeah.
It really is. From an experience standpoint and a skill set standpoint, I mean, it doesn't get much better than this.
And before we get too far into this fight, Alex, congratulations on Zach's win. And, you know, I was talking about that. To me, that was a coaching win. You know, you could see what you were telling him between rounds. He executed it perfectly, was able to get his back. That was an amazing exchange there. Congratulations on that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, hunting the back, it's just, you know, anytime I have a brown belt who's like working towards their black belt, they're like, Coach, what can I do? And I'm like, find the back from anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah. And
that's it. You're brown belt. You're already good at jiu-jitsu. Like, what can we make the best? And that's the back takes. And I'm such a statistic nerd, especially for MMA. If there's 100 fights, about a quarter of them finish in submission, the other quarter in TKO, and then half decision. And of all of the submissions, the rear naked chokes are almost always 50%. So, like, technically, you have a 12.5% chance of getting a rear naked choke in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, so we just hunt the back. And look at Gordon Ryan. Look at all these super high-level jiu-jitsu practitioners. All of them are just masters. So, Mike, we were there together, but at ADCC, the event two events ago, when he fought Andre Galvao. How did he beat Andre Galvao? The best grappler at the time. He took his back, trapped his arm, rear naked choked him.
Yep.
That is just the meta routing. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, and then you have people like Craig Jones saying he'll never chase the back again because he thinks it's too easy to escape. And but, I mean, in his defense, you have to be a master to escape everyone. Like, if someone is on your back and they're a black belt, chances are pretty good you're in trouble. And so for Craig Jones to say that, extreme confidence in his ability to escape the back or to never get there.
So Ceniceros actually threw it a decent kind of body kick. I think it hit right on the top of the cup. So the ref warned him. But Nathan, the gamer he is, was like, hey, you know, it didn't really do anything substantial, so I'm okay. Ceniceros with a good kicking arsenal. Nice caught the kick, takes a shot in on a high C. Man, but Regino is just about that takedown defense life. He got a big lift. Gavin Ceniceros, big double leg, looking for the wrist ride.
Ceniceros right into the mount.
This is a good position there for Gavin. Nice reversal, though, from Regino, and a great push off and get up there from Ceniceros.
Yeah, beautiful job, man.
Did not accept guard. Oh, circle right into it, yep. That's good little slipping up there from Ceniceros. Yeah, Nathan, he noticed Ceniceros was really circling to his own power side, so he just ripped a big body kick.
Man, these guys are throwing hard here in the first round.
Yeah, this is a fun fight. Yeah. Nice, good round.
Yeah, as I said, guys at home, don't pay attention to the clock on there. The official timekeeper is cage side. Looks like they didn't stop the clock for the cup
break.
check,
Yeah.
and so the clock kept going. But the official timekeeper will be on the side. You'll hear that 10-second click, then you'll hear the bell or the horn 10 seconds after. So
yeah,
you see that going down. They're not going 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, you'll rarely see a time mistake as the state hires 2 people to work the bell. One hits the horn, and then one starts the clock, the stopwatch, and like it is like genuine clockwork. So back in the day, and I'm so glad they've done away with this, but Texas early professionals, rookie pros with like less than 3 fights, they used to force us to fight 3-minute rounds and not 5s. And the biggest time flop I ever saw was Brian Milan's son, who made it to the UFC when he fought Derek Krantz, who also made it to the UFC. It was a pro fight. It should have been 5 minutes. And they stopped it at 3 minutes right when somebody got a takedown. And it really changed the tide of the fight because they reset him on the feet. And it was just a snowball effect nonsense. I'm so glad they've done away with that. The Texas Commission has been amazing to work with the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I think the Texas Commission strives to get it right, and I think they also, you know, they're creating a standard that is just second to none here. You know, they think, you know, Las Vegas is the pinnacle and that's the fight capital of the world, and if Texas ever has the opportunity to take it, they're going to do it.
Nice. Good shot opportunity from Cisneros, but again, Regino's takedown defense has been on point. His tall, long frame has allowed him to kind of wrap those Reaper-style whizzers, lifting the elbows high.
Yeah, when you have those tall guys like that, Alex, it's deceiving because you're like, my hands are in the right place, everything's, and their feet are still so firmly on the ground. It's just, it's so deceiving. It's so difficult to take a really, really tall guy down because it feels like they should be elevated where you've got them, and they're not.
Absolutely. Oh, nice little double leg transition to the high C crackdown. Usually you see the high C entry to the double leg chain transition. Cisneros actually did it the opposite way. That's something that I'm gonna work myself. That was cool.
A very nice takedown.
So Cisneros, you know, he's fighting like a veteran is what he's doing. He's just making the right choices at the right time. And Regino is on point defensively, but he's just a step behind on who's dictating the pace. One thing I got to say with the Texas Commission is we see Patrick Patlon as the kind of the head commissioner today, and he used to be a referee. So he knows the game, and I'm so glad they have people like that in charge because he's making the experience just so pleasant for everybody, from the fighters to the coaches to the fans and the promoters. So, I mean, nothing but love for the Texas Commish this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, every time something happens in a fight and, you know, people are very critical of the referees, people are very critical of the judges, you have no idea how hard that job is until you've actually been in there to try to do it. Even for jiu-jitsu matches, there's a lot of pressure on you as a referee.
Absolutely. Oh, nice high kick from Cisneros. Yeah, you could have a task list of 100 tasks. You can do 99 of them perfectly, make a mistake on one, and that's what gets brought up.
Yeah.
And that's just life. So I tell my guys, especially in martial arts, you know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you just full send whatever choice you make. Nice. I'll tell you, it's just Cisneros is kind of throwing that one extra strike after these exchanges. He's the one kind of pushing the wrestling pace. This is one of those fights where Nathan Regino's performing very well, but I think Cisneros is just making sure to keep kind of a higher pace. Nice round kick to a step through side kick.
I think Cisneros' style is going to be very effective as a pro also. I think having more time, you know, to spend on things like this in these positions, I think is going to benefit him. I expect him to go pro very, very soon.
Yeah, and he's fighting like a pro. Again, a great round from both guys. Both of them very offensively, defensively, technically, fighting very sharp. But again, I think it's just Cisneros' extra shot at the end of the exchanges, initiating the grappling that's allowed him to, I believe, narrowly take the nod for rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah. Regino with some very good wrestling defense. You know, when he did get taken down, he was able to get back up. Just hasn't done a ton of damage, and, you know, like you said, Cisneros is landing that extra shot at the end of those combinations, and I think that's the difference in the fight. It's that one shot, and, you know, the takedowns are good, but they're kind of negated by the fact there's not a lot of damage being done, and Regino's able to get back up. So those shots on the feet, those are the ones that are making the difference here so far.
Yeah, the conditioning seems to be pretty good for both guys. They got a good little pep in their step as round 3 is about to begin.
Another indication that both these guys are probably going to go pro soon.
Yeah.
If you're cardioing through a 3-minute round, you're doing pretty well, and you're ready. Oh.
Oh, yeah, they were both through kicks at the same time from an open stance. I mean, that is bound to happen.
Yeah, you see the clock ran for an extra 5 or 6 seconds there, so it may go down to 0 again at the end of the 3rd round here.
It's nice to have a mystery. Oh, nice left hook there from Cisneros.
This guy's nice sprawl.
See, that was, oh, nice knee there, too. That was a great sprawl, but notice Cisneros, he threw a high kick after he got his shot stuffed. Like, that's weird. Oh, nice. Good combination there from Nathan. This is the best one he's had so far in this fight. And he's staying on it. He's keeping his foot on the gas.
Yeah, Cisneros is hurt, and I think Yanez may have told him there at the in between rounds, you're down 2 rounds.
You need to finish, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's going after it here.
That would be the correct advice. Even if they did maybe take a round or two, you just don't know. And on the high C there's Gavin. Runs his feet, gets the takedown. He's got his neck wrapped, but the lower body control of Regino is just not really in position to threaten a genuine front choke.
Yeah, he passed that knee, so it's going to be uncomfortable, but he's not going to be able to finish it here.
And again, going back to kind of like the veteran prowess there of Cisneros, you know, he was in the hottest water he'd been in so far in this fight, so he forced a takedown. He took Nathan's, you know, chance to score away from him.
Yeah, with about a minute left, I mean, Regino's got to get up. He had some good moments here. You know, not a lot of damage being done here, but you got to think that if everything ended like this is a pretty simple decision for Cisneros. Regino's got to get up for this last minute and make something happen here.
Yeah, you can see a lot of downward pressure there from Cisneros' hips, just right on the frames of Nathan Regino. He's using that right knee, just knee shield to try to get up. But you can just see Gavin's driving into him. You know, watching, you know, you're like, why didn't you just get up? You just can't. And then you got to not expose your back. I mean, it's a real-time riddle you got to solve. Now he could look to get up here. One thing we saw really well was in the UFC main event, Carlos Prates versus Ian Gary. Prates exposed his back instantly, but he got up almost every single time. That was a good get up there from Regino. Now, I think Regino still wins this round. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, round 1 was pretty close and competitive, but I do think Cisneros kind of set the tempo. If I'm not mistaken, I think we're going to see a 29-28 across the board. Mike, tell me in that second fight of the night, the girl fight, there was a draw. Do you remember the scores? So there was no point deduction, right?
There was a point deduction in the second round.
That's what did it. Okay.
Olivia Hendrickson grabbed the cage as she was being taken down, and it stopped the takedown.
Oh, so she
got a warning maybe 3 seconds before that her hand was in the cage. So she did get a point taken. You know, it was they happened kind of back-to-back so quick. I didn't think he was going to take a point at first, but he ended up taking a point. So I knew going into the third round, if she didn't do something significant, it would have been a draw. So. But yeah, you know, that being said, Olivia Hendricks would have won that fight had she not had a point taken away. So it was a very good fight, though.
Yeah.
And this was a very good fight. Leggett's still up there. Trying to convince him.
Whiskey. All 3 judges scored the fight 29-28, declaring your winner. Unanimous decision, Nathan